Good evening, everyone, and welcome to session six, I'm pretty sure, of Alien Chariot of the Gods and our continuation of our It's Alive actual play. I may have said that in backwards order, but this is what we're going to go with tonight. When last we left off, Captain Miller was in a bit of a tight spot in a vent, but we're going to start back with Dr. Flynn and Johns, who is currently in the med bay right now. Flynn, you've been running experiments on the decapitated head of the juvenile neomorph, testing out its skin, finding that it seems to be very resistant to a lot of cuts, abrasions, but that this does not seem to extend to high heat and fire. And I believe one of the last bits of information that I gave was that there was their mouth, as the head was beginning to elongate, their mouth almost extrudes out like a goblin shark, gripping and pulling materials back in, and that it is filled with lines of taut muscles, causing it to be able to crunch through any number of things. As you are kind of examining this, maybe you're tinkering with a scalpel and you just see it kind of pop back in, the muscles almost on a tripwire string. And a little while later, you hear a "God damn it!
So,
Little fucker bit me."
oh, what do you mean it bit you?
You turn around and
It's in a
see
fucking cage.
you see Johns is like holding his hand almost in his jacket, and is like, "Yeah, no, I was standing fucking 3 feet away from it, and goddamn here." He goes and brings his hand up to you, and you can see that the end of his pinky is gone. There's a trail of blood pit-pattering across the floor.
Oh, wait, so did you see it? Was it its mouth? Did it tail whip you?
I don't. Can we start with the interrogation a little bit later? Like, can I get a fucking band-aid, man? Jesus Christ!
Okay, yeah,
I
I'll
thought you were
admit,
a doctor, man.
I'll administer first aid. Hey, we're doing important research here, Johns. Now, all right, want me to roll for medicine?
Not necessary at this point. But Johns will convey that he was standing over in the doorway. The thing was freaking him out. And so he, as he describes it, was about 3 feet away from the cage. He wasn't exactly like trying to poke it with his finger to get at it. It finally quieted down a little bit. It seems, as you turn around to look at it behind the bars, it's almost just this mass of kind of an almost opaque carapace, as it seems to be wrapped up around itself. There is a tail that you can see just flicking lightly on the outside of the box.
Hmm.
There's blood around on the outside, but you don't see how this thing could have gotten its head through the bars enough to bite John's. At minimum, it seems inert, jostling around a bit at the new loud noise.
It must be hungry because it doesn't have any food, so it's probably doing very desperate things to try and get food. We should probably establish a no-go zone around the cage, at least 3 feet. We'll delineate it by your trail of blood from where you walk to me. Um, Maybe double that distance, and we'll continue careful observation.
I mean, but I, Liam, I don't know how well you've been. Sorry, Flynn, I don't know how well you've been looking. I forgot you changed the name. Uh, I don't know how well you've been looking at this med lab here, but that's the whole fucking med lab. Like, where are we going to put this thing?
Oh, sorry, my spatial awareness was compromised in the moment. I forgot how big the room was. Sorry, I've just been so focused on my science. Um, I mean, what else could you be suggesting? We can't We just have to work around the subject. Well, you can't expect me to want to kill the subject, right?
He kind of stares at you for a long time. Eyes blink slowly. I might be suggesting we kill the subject. Yes, because it bit my fucking finger off.
All right.
You never see Johns get irate. I mean, the case for this is probably valid,
Oh,
but
Jones, I understand. You just got your finger bit off. It can't be fun. Here, we can give you some pain pills after after the conversation.
and as you are a trained medical professional, I will also give you a little something else. As you are treating his wound, I assume you do a little better than just a space band-aid. But you notice that there is a bit of a rash that's on John's sort of wrist. He's keeping hidden under his shirt sleeve. Get him some pain pills.
Well, I'm gonna bring that up then. Hey,
What?
Jones, we can. I keep things confidential here, but I noticed that I was doing the examination on your hand that I saw a rash on your wrist. What's going on with that? Well, how long has that been around?
What? I don't know. Is that really important right now?
Considering you just got exposed to one of the neomorphs, then it could be an interesting piece of information. But I
He
guess
goes white as a sheet as you say this and kind of stumbles away a bit. You don't think I'm infected, do you?
no, of course not. You got vaccinated, right?
Yeah, but
Okay,
but
then
if
we're
it
fine.
but if it bit me, if they, I mean, they also it was all over Clayton too.
Yeah, and I don't think Clayton. Listen, it has been 30 seconds, John, since you were exposed. I can't imagine this wrist rash means you're going to be turning into you're going to be developing neomorph tumors anytime soon. I just want to get all the data we possibly can get. Okay, no need for fear.
And that sounds like a great transition to a place where there may be a need for fear. Uh Cham, Miller, and Reed can all give me observation rolls. Cham, you are at -2 because you are currently replacing the vent panels from within the air scrubbers. And it's extremely loud as you're still looking around.
Are you kidding me? I rolled
Uh,
one success, 3 panic die,
I rolled one success, one panic, and
and I
I guess
freeze.
I dropped my item.
Yeah. Oh,
I had 1 dice and 4 panic, and I rolled 1 success. Or 4 panic dice and rolled 1 success.
Okay. Well, these reactions all make perfect sense. As Miller, you just happened to take a cursory glance down at the motion tracker that you set up in the vent just to be sure nothing was going to sneak up on you. And it's at this point that you look down and you could see zzz, zzz,
no,
zzz,
something has snuck up on us.
as something is coming directly towards you down this vent. In
I've
fact,
frozen in fear.
as you are standing there, frozen, you can hear it thudding chaotically as if down this vent, there's a slight incline that it's rolling down. And Valerie, you said you dropped your gun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
This makes perfect sense. As Cham, you can also hear this dum 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 as something is coming down the vent. Maybe it's because you are right up next against it. But I would like all three of you that are present to go ahead and roll me a d10 and tell me what you get.
Somebody roll me a d10.
I got you. All right, you got
I
a
rolled a
3,
2.
Cham.
3. Great.
Okay. And Reed, how'd you do?
I got a 2.
Oh, wow. Everyone's quick on the draw tonight. All right. Well, as you are standing there, everyone freezes. You can hear this thing is coming down the vents towards you, Miller. You're looking at the motion tracker. You can hardly stand to look up, to look away. You want to grab at the railgun that is hanging at your side. This is what you've been waiting for, but you can't, because as it is thud, 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 it's getting almost within range of your flashlight as it is getting closer and closer and closer. As it is rolling, you can see it is the top half of Cooper's head rolling down through the vent that stops, its teeth clicking on the floor in front of you.
Does it have legs or is it just rolling?
It's just been rolling down the vent.
What
Kill
the
it! Kill it
fuck?
with fire! Kill it!
This isn't the thing yet.
I saw it was a human head, and I said what I said.
And Reed, you may have dropped your gun because as you were hearing this thudding from the vent, you turn around and have your gun drawn, looking and looking. And as your eyes are scanning up higher, you can see a tail is waving through an open vent at the top, almost at the junction between decks C and B. It's almost like this thing is waiting there. It doesn't seem to be looking at you yet until you drop your gun. And with that sound, we are now going to begin its initiative as it is going to turn its bulbous head towards you. Reed, this thing is big. This thing is over 6 feet tall, not including its tail. I am going to roll a d6. As it turns to look at you, it emits this hiss as its mouth opens, and you can see glistening steel-like teeth inside of it. I need you to make another immediate panic roll.
I seek cover. I panic. I completely panic.
Okay, this is very good, actually. So, everyone except actually Cham, your stress doesn't go up at this point yet because you haven't seen anything. Miller and Reed, you are going to take a stress die at seeing this happen right now. And Reed, I am going to need you to actually roll a very important mobility as you are scrambling to get the fuck away because this thing is about to jump at you. And your panic might actually just save your life.
Woo! 2
God
successes.
damn.
Okay, give me just a second. I need, oh shit, 8 base dice. This is fun. How many successes did you get?
2.
I got 1 success. For that, I'm going to say that you're going to win in this contest. Looking at the map, where are you scrambling to move away from this thing at?
We
This is
just
going to count as your fast action. I'm imagining that you are somewhere at the top of this T at the catwalk here.
we're gonna try to run towards the other way, probably towards like what is it, the ladder near Junction C1 or whatnot, or the staircase. And I'm gonna scream like something's fucking on me.
Okay, so you are going to run down the hallway, or if you want, you could tuck over the side of this catwalk and land in the vehicle bay below. There's storage containers, there's all kinds of stuff to hide in.
Uh,
Anything could hide in there.
you know what? Yeah, if I could just gain some distance and hide from it, I might be able to. Yeah, let's go there then. Let's jump down to the vehicle bay.
So as this is happening, you drop your gun, it leaps, and you are backpedaling. You hit the back of your back touches this metal railing, and you don't have time to think. You tuck over it. And I am going to roll really quick as you can feel its claw grazing your boot as it was just about to pounce and grab you. You are going to take 1 damage as you land roughly on your shoulder, bang, on top of one of the storage containers. I mean, at least it broke your fall a bit. You can roll a little bit off the side there. It is standing right at the lip of this junction for the catwalk here. We're going to go down to, that was actually 2 of its turns. So now, Cham, you can go ahead.
Okay, so do I see this thing like when I hear Valerie or Reed jump off and all this, like I can like,
You know
oops,
what?
fucking alien.
Give me another observation roll.
You got it. So
-2 again.
oh, boy.
Because Reed doesn't have a radio.
I got 1 stress, 1 success, 1 panic.
Okay, how are you doing on the panic? Just checking. It's fine.
Probably okay. So I roll a d6, add my current stress level to it, right?
Yes.
You got it. Ooh, okay. I'm at a 6. I rolled a 6, whatever that is.
You are holding it together. But for all of this, yes, you hear Reed screaming, what was it? It's on me. I got something fucking on me.
Something's
And then,
on me. Shit. Fuck. I'll look down. Like I assume I'm kind of higher up. I'm putting in these filters or whatever.
I think that you're like on a ladder, maybe say
Yeah.
4 or 5 feet off the ground.
Do I happen to see? I know Reed. Looking around, do I see Reed? Do I see a thing? Do I see a dropped gun anywhere? Et cetera,
No,
et cetera,
you
et cetera?
are currently alone in the air scrubber shaft. There is a slight catwalk around you that is the only thing stopping you from dropping into a pool of electrified water, as
Yeah,
this
we
is
don't
where
want
they,
that.
yeah, they use electrolysis to make all the fresh oxygen.
Yeah, I'm like shit. Fuck, Captain, what's going on out there?
Uh, 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 uh. I'm frozen. I do have a
Fuck it.
fast though. Whenever it's my turn.
Yeah, I'll move to get to where I think the captain is at least.
Okay, so back out into that vent. You can,
Yeah.
use your fast to climb down through there. In fact, we'll just say this is both of your actions, slow and fast, climbing down the ladder and then moving out towards the vent. So then you can see Miller, white as a sheet, staring down at, well, kind of like the top part of a Pez dispenser is laying in the middle of the vent here.
Shit.
Well, damn. Reed, I am going to say that that mobility bit there, that was your fast action. You have 1 action. Miller, it is also your turn.
All right. I'd like to save whatever action I have to block whatever might come.
Okay. So if you want, you can use a fast action to move out of the vent here and then reserve your slow to hit later. You can trade a slow down to fast, not the other way around.
I don't have a slow because I froze. I just have a fast.
Okay.
So, yep. I'll just stay where I am.
All right. You're just going to stay there and dodge? Got it. That'll give the Xeno disadvantage to hit. And Reed.
I'm wherever I landed. I'm gonna try and find just a place to hide for the time, like just for the next couple seconds. See where it drops, hear where it drops, because I'm trying to get the fuck away from this thing. I'm as far as I'm aware, it's still chasing me.
Yeah. Well, that's the great thing about you jumping down here is it is pitch black in the cargo bay. So there's any number of places that you can fumble around and hide. The only light that you can see is the orange light that is reflecting off of the ceiling. You can glance up and see this thing is almost, you can hear the catwalk creaking under its weight as it is thrashing around. You can see where it is. Do you want to try and scramble under something to hide down here? or are you trying to just run and scramble to get away?
I'm gonna try and I don't know much about its line of sight or if it can see in the dark, but I feel like if I can stay quiet and hide somewhere, I might be able to evade it for right now. So I'm gonna search the closest place, bumbling around a bit in the dark to find just an area to squeeze in and maybe throw like a tarp or something on me and hope to God it doesn't find me.
Okay. So with your trading your slow down to a fast action, I'm going to say that you can kind of roll off of the side of this shipping container. You're racking your brain trying to remember what was in this thing, but you feel something rubber and hard. You're kind of fumbling around in the dark. You feel it's round. Tires, the ATV tires. You just kind of huddle underneath those there. I will give you a roll of your choice. This to me sounds like a mobility roll or perhaps a survival roll if you're trying to kind of avoid line of sight. It'd be a lot easier to avoid line of sight if it had eyes.
Uh, yeah, well, yeah, I guess survival makes more sense. We'll go with the survival.
Okay.
Uh, okay, so we got one success but one panic, and what does it make me do? It says
Screams.
Scream.
scream.
I found a great hiding spot.
Guys, I found a great spot down here. Perhaps the reason that you scream is as you are trying to kind of crawl underneath these tires and things, you hear a crunch and your hand reaches down and there is something wet, and you notice there is a stink down here beneath this nest of tires. You scream your lungs out. If I remember correctly, this is going to mean you lose your next slow action. Your stress is decreased by 1. Congratulations. But everyone that can hear read,
God
you're going to
damn
have
it.
to make another panic roll, except Ava.
Do we make a panic roll if we're already panicking?
I'll say you're immune because you're currently losing your shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess everyone may be holding it together, relatively speaking, as, well, better her than me. Ding! Wilson, you see your elevator doors open up as you were coming down to Deck C to drop off the map and schematics of the Cronus to Miller, as he so kindly suggested. After he caught you bumbling, or after the rest of them caught you bumbling around, trying to bring a bunch of those mysterious metallic urns and a shipping pallet in the elevator when you were supposed to be just getting schematics.
It's my business. It's company business. They don't know anything.
Okay. You can roll me a d10.
Great. If I just get back in the elevator.
Elevator or doors open. You see what's going on. Close.
8.
This is very funny to me.
No, it's not.
Okay. With that ding, I'm going to say, Reed, you can call high-low.
Low.
Unlucky. As with the scream, you're kind of looking down, then back up again. You see its head is just absolutely beelined right on top of, or right at you. Give me just a second. Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of cover from these tires. So give me just a second as I am about to determine if you die. If you could go ahead and roll me 2d6 and let me know if there are any successes.
One success.
Terrific. as this thing is looking directly at you. You see that it perches on the edge of the catwalk. Its weight is causing that metal railing to bend underneath it. And then as you're looking at its main body, you almost don't notice this flash as its tail is lunging directly at you. It did not look that long, but you hear and feel the force of its impact as it is stabbed into one of the tires that was relatively close to you. You don't know if it missed because it didn't see you or because you just got very lucky. But that's okay because it has another turn, so we can find out. Okay. It is going to lunge down at you at this point because it's tired of playing. You can roll me those two d6 again.
Okay. Nothing.
You have a story point if that means anything.
You do have a story point.
If that's applicable here, then I'm definitely going to use it.
Okay. Because this feels very cinematic, and I respect the use of story points there, this thing lunges down at you, and you feel like you are seeing your life flash before your eyes. Time slows down just a bit. It lands on top of you, crushing the weight out of you. And as you are kind of pinned underneath several of these tires, you can see its face is but through the hole of the tire, it's giving you just enough space that it is unable to take chunks out of your face. You can give me another panic roll, though, as all of this is happening.
I panic. I flee.
We're going to put a pin in that for a second. Wilson, the door opens and you hear screaming and the sounds of clatter.
Screaming. Do I see anybody?
I'm imagining Reed's scream faded out just as the door was opening, so you almost catch the tail end of it, and then you are hearing more sounds and commotion.
Can I want to peek out the door. I don't want to go out. If I can see anybody, or if anybody can see me, I will leave. Like I will leave the elevator. But if nobody sees me, I'm going back up.
And actually, because I forgot to roll initiative for Ava, that we have a fully equipped party down here. You, as you are kind of looking left and right, there is a fast movement as you kind of step back a little bit. Ava turns, her head turning a little bit too far while she is not breaking stride towards the end of the catwalk. Miss Reed is in danger. Please, hurry. She's carrying flares from the equipment locker towards the back and is going to spend her fast action to run down to the edge of the catwalk. A red light begins dimly illuminating and she drops it down. So Reed, you can see everything that is happening to you in a dim ember glow. Cham, it is your turn.
Shit. So I can see down below now with this flare. I can see the creature and like Reed, I assume, or
You'll need to spend your fast action to get out of this vent here, as you know that Miller seems frozen because he is so full of empathy. He can't bear more of his people in danger. But spending your fast to get out, you can hear shouting, and then now with the flare, you can see something is whipping around underneath the grates of the catwalk.
son of a bitch. Question: when I was in the cargo office before, is there like a crane or anything? Is it a gantry crane? Is it
There
like
is.
slow moving?
Mm-hmm.
Shh. Okay. I'm gonna run to that cargo. I'm gonna get out and run to this cargo office here. I don't know if that'll take up my whole turn then, or if I can do something else. I'd like to get to the controls of the gantry crane. If that
I will say that that's going to eat your slow and fast action,
Fine,
but you
totally
can
fine.
barge through the door in there and basically be in this office. I don't know how safe you feel, but now you can get a full bird's eye view of everything going on down there. Take a stress at seeing the state of this thing, which you were hiding from not a couple of hours ago.
Yeah. Shit. 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 That's it.
Okay. Reed, you are panicking and attempting to flee. I want you to give me I'm going to call it just raw, actually, we'll call it close combat, as you are going to try to use your strength to get this thing off of you and run the fuck away. So your
Yeah.
slow action involuntarily is going to be a strength contest to lift this thing off.
Please, please, please get off me! Ah! Oh wow, we did good. Two
Hey!
successes.
2 successes. Okay. Because this is cinematic as fuck, yes, I'm going to say that that's enough to fly, as you can sort of at least lean or get yourself out from underneath this tire as it is snapping at you, and your fast action is going to be to run. At least you are out of the light. You are running into darkness. I'll ask for a mobility roll to see how many things you trip over on your way there.
I get one success. No, I get 0 successes, 1 panic, and I go berserk.
That's okay. You're actively panicking right now, so I'm going to say you can't overlap it at this stage. This was just me seeing if you eat shit. In this case, you run, your shin clangs into something, hurts like a motherfucker, but you are running out of the light in this here. Miller, it is your turn. I believe you.
I can act. Oh, I can fight. So what I'm gonna do is kind of hearing Reed's screams. It's gonna snap me out of this little fugue state I'm in. I'm gonna run out of the vent and look over the catwalk.
Mhm.
So I see this freak.
You see this freak illuminated in the flame and the flare.
Holy shit! Full gun.
Okay. You can add a stress and
Okay. I fire.
fire your gun.
Oh boy, I got 9 stress. It's fucked.
This is fine.
This is fine. This is a ranged combat, and holy shit, 3 successes. No
Very nice.
ones.
It would be a damn shame if this thing had armor to it.
That's all right. The bolt gun is an additional what, 2 damage?
It does 3 damage, actually. That was how Wilson just like speared the first one.
Yeah. So 3 damage, 3 successes.
And so, with the extra successes, you can choose to pile on more damage on top of that, or do essentially a maneuver. If you want, you can show off to try and re-inspire some confidence in
I'd
everyone.
like to do a maneuver. I would like to say that spending one of the successes, I'd like to probably kneecap it, hurting its mobility.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. If you
Yeah.
wanted to try and pin it to, like, since there's
Yeah.
the tires, it can get caught in there. So
Right.
trying to keep it stuck and immobilized, more or less.
I'm gonna yell out like, "You're not gonna get any more of us!" And I just pin it.
As you're aiming for, it's good enough to call it as a leg as anything. As you hear it spear, there is that alien. That sounded like a sad cat. I'm sorry, I won't do that again. But you have it speared as it
I
is
forgive you.
angrily thrashing about on this tire down there. It is now its turn. I am going to. I'm going to give it a base strength roll to see if it can try and, or it's going to spend a fast action to try and break out of the thing. I'll call it a slow action. Fuck it. It is thrashing about on all of these tires, and it's causing them all to just spill over on the ground. You lose track of it for just a second, and then that's whenever you see one of the tires, boom, 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 as there is the rod that is jutting out of it. And for a fast action, I think that you can see it. It is injured, and it looks like it's trying to move somewhere. It's moving so fast, it's hard to keep track of it. I will leave it there for now. Okay. I am going to roll its mobility currently to see if it is able to get away and essentially out of everyone's line of sight as that's stung. Cham, you feel a thud on the underside of the crane operating booth.
Shit.
There's clattering. It's moving around underneath, to the side, almost on top.
Fucking hell. God
You know
damn
what?
it.
Just to be dramatic,
Mhm.
you can see it crawling up over the glass.
Yeah. There wouldn't happen to be one of them pulse rifles stored away in this little cargo booth, would there?
Do you want to spend a fast action to look around for one?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Shit, I don't even fucking know. Uh, it was my turn then, or where are we at?
No, at this point, it is just climbing on top of the glass, and you can see it is poised almost like a gargoyle on top of this crane operating station, and it looks like it's ready to lunge. Wilson, it is your turn.
So I didn't actually do anything last time. I looked out. I feel like, was that my move?
You're protecting your company interests.
Yeah. So she saw me, Ava saw me.
Yes, Ava saw you.
Okay. Well, then I have to go out. Unfortunately. So I'll walk out. I'll speed walk out. I'm not running. Looking for danger and to see what's going on. What can I see? Because can I see the creature on the crane thing? Is that visible to me?
Give me an observation roll.
Great. Is it so slow for me? Sorry.
Nervous twitch. One success,
great.
2
Yeah.
stress.
So yeah, my stress level and the stress level of all friendly PCs in a short range of me increased by 1, which I don't think is anybody right now, right?
Yeah, we didn't notice her.
Yeah.
Wilson. We didn't notice Wilson.
So you are just kind of, as you're speed walking, you're kind of trying to just smooth things down. And that's whenever something clatters off of your spacesuit, just fuck. You're just like trying to stay as calm as you can.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing no one saw.
Yeah.
Okay. Ava is going to roll an observation. Where did it go? Cham,
Yeah,
it is your turn.
god damn it. Okay, point of order. A question that might be important. Is the gantry crane above or below the control shack? Like, is the control shack above the gantry, or is it the other way around? Like, I can.
So I'm imagining that the control shack is kind of part of the gantry, so that you can have the railing that is coming from basically the roof of the control shack. You can control where the crane is moving, and then you can make this slide back and forth across this whole cargo bay to be able to lift things. But you're just kind of stuck to this one side.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Shit. I can see it like kind of through the glass above near where I'm at. Is that right?
Yeah, you can hear the metal crinkling as it is on top of the ceiling above you, and it seems poised.
Fuck. I've got nothing other than to hold any actions and just stay as still and quiet as possible right
You're
now.
just okay. You freeze there.
It's an hilarious pose too. Like I'm like,
uh, Reed, I think you would have come out of your panic here as things have quieted down behind you. The only thing that you can hear is the sound of your horse breathing and just the slow of the flare that's maybe starting to fizzle a bit.
With this tiny bit of light, I might just try and use it to see if I find an exit out of here, like that staircase or like a ladder up back to the, catwalks, because I don't want to be down here anymore.
Okay. Um, how do I want to do this? Okay. Give me a base wits roll.
Right. Yes, I can definitely do that for you here. 2 successes.
Okay. As you plopped down into the vehicle bay, you ran straight. Per the map, I'm going to call it essentially straight south. You've been clanging on stuff. You know that this is where they're storing the ATVs. That's what you just cracked your shin on a second ago. It should have been strapped down, but whatever. You don't have time to worry about it right now. But you know that if you hang a right and just keep your arm out, you're going to hit a wall, and there's a couple of stairwells that can lead you back up to deck C. So if you are going to move slowly and carefully to try and avoid detection and not make any more sounds, okay. Um, at this stage, I'm not going to ask you to make me a mobility roll as you are kind of using your turn for this. Miller, you can give me an observation to see if you keep track of where this thing was.
Yeah. That's one success and 3 panic rolls. So I have to flee.
You see that it is on top of this cargo bay office. You see Cham going, and this thing is poised, and you see that it is ready to lunge. And maybe it's about the time that you turn and flee whenever you see it jump straight towards you at the edge of the catwalk. You turn and you run down the hallway. And at this point, I wonder if Cham is the only one that watches this thing leap well over 20 feet and land perched in a vent at the top, the same one that Reed saw it waiting in earlier as it scrambles deep into the vent. We are going to drop out of combat as everyone can stop, catch their breath for a second.
Um, where did I go and run?
I am imagining you essentially turned and ran down the. You can pick whichever hallway, but running more north towards the stairwell or the storage lockers.
I think I maybe run down to the vehicle bay, like tried to go down to the stairs and hope maybe bump into Reed as she's coming up.
Okay, I think that that works for comedic effect. As you are just sprinting to go away, Reed is trying to like creep up and not make any noise, and there is a as you both collide into each other as you're going.
Scooby Doo it.
Yes, exactly.
Jesus Christ, did you see that thing?
Yeah, I think I maimed it, and then I don't know where it jumped at me, and I just ran.
Well, let's just stay close because
Jesus Christ! You lost your weapon?
yeah, I locked in battle with it. I just ended up losing it. The details of it aren't too to we just got to find the gun.
Yeah, here, take this. I'll hand you my giant wrench, and
I
then
will
I
accept.
will,
It's dangerous. Take this.
and then I will reload the bolt gun because you have to reload after every shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll like cock the giant wrench. Let's get this done.
Hey yo,
Where are the others?
last time I saw Cham was in the cargo office, and Ava was at the catwalk.
All right, well, yeah, let's go get the android. Go fit your buddy Cham, and Jesus Christ, we gotta recollect.
You got to get your weapon.
Right now, I got something with me.
You got
we
no
just we just
weapon.
we got to make sure that we have people with us. Our greatest weapon is numbers.
True.
It was fortunate no one was harmed, Mr. Wilson. Wouldn't you agree?
So fortunate. I'm glad I was here to help.
Of course. Your assistance was valuable.
Yeah, it was. Thank you. Let's find the others.
Yes, they are, and she points as Cham seems to be immobilized within the crane operation booth.
All right, let's go. I'm not going alone.
Go yourself. Oh, and so you all can walk and essentially coalesce together downstairs.
Shit. Fucking things are everywhere.
I leave for 1 second. What happened?
Fucking thing came out of the vents, started after us. Went after Reed and then Captain then eventually. Fucking hell. Shit.
I've got your schematics, by the way, Captain.
Fuck off.
Uh, Wilson, I'll take him. I'll take a look here, see what we got. We need to get these air scrubbers back online pronto, unless we all want to be breathing CO2 for the entire 70 some years home. So,
You know where that thing went?
so I'll jump into a vent from there. It can get anywhere.
Which vent?
I point out the vent that it went into, the one I came from before.
Can we weld that shut?
We can. Problem is that any of the other it could have escaped out of any other ventilation system. But you know what? I don't think that's a bad idea, Wilson. That's not too shabby. All right, I'll get to work on that. Then I got to get these scrubbers done. I'll take a look at these schematics, see what I can find about the ship too, Captain. And
I think that that encounter, it bought us some time since I think I heard it.
Yes, you did seem to injure it.
Do you
Perhaps
think
it
good
is
we can
job,
going.
find-
Cap.
Perhaps
Huh?
it is going to attempt to recover, lick its wounds. I hope the
Yeah.
creatures do not have resentment.
I hope they don't like evolve and shit like Dr. Flynn was discovering.
Well, Ava,
I mean,
you've
if they
been on
can
the
age
ship.
rapidly,
Sorry.
I was gonna say if they can age rapidly, they can definitely heal rapidly. So I'm not sure how much time we're working with.
Yeah, Ava, you've been on the ship for 70 some years here with these critters. You ever seen one of them injured before? Do they heal up from their wounds pretty quick?
I was personally never able to injure one. Out of protection for my own well-being, I attempted to avoid them.
How did you avoid them?
I was very quiet.
Hmm.
Right.
Well,
Valerie, did you see anything down there?
I couldn't see
There was-
shit.
There was an equipment repairs room I saw on the map. Maybe that has some extra parts to speed along this process of repairing the air scrubbers.
I wouldn't doubt it, but we're gonna need some lights down there because it seems like either half the shit down there is not tied down and shaken up, or there's no lights down there.
Yeah, I got a flashlight on my suit. I'll make myself useful if you want to come with me to the equipment repairs room.
I best not go alone.
can we get maybe the old Doc Flynn down here and John's? Maybe we circle up the wagons, if you know what I mean.
Can I
shouldn't
radio
be too spread out.
Dr. Flynn?
Sure.
Doctor, can you hear me?
Can I?
Yes, you can.
Sorry. Jesus. Um, I say hello, but I sound disinterested because I'm focused on an experiment I'm doing at the moment.
When are you going to be done with that?
Shouldn't be long. Do you need my assistance? Is someone hurt?
Thankfully, no. We just encountered that thing again. Just be very careful. It's using the vents to get around. So if there's any
Hmm.
vents in that medical room, I advise blocking it or like welding it up.
I look around and probably see a ton of vents, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's important to
Got it.
have good ventilation within any doing medical procedures.
Do you guys need me and John's down there? Set of hands? I could probably
Uh,
wrap up my studies soon.
yeah. As soon as you're done. Also, uh, how's the roughneck doing? How's he
Rye?
recovering? Yeah.
There's a low
Uh,
groan from inside the one medic pod.
he's with us, not talking much, but he's he's just healing up.
He's
If I
gonna
have to
make it,
come,
Doc. Right?
oh yeah, oh yeah. I
Good.
mean, we're through the hard part now. Well, if I come down, then it's just that hopefully that an alien doesn't raid the pod and eat him. But there's no, shouldn't be anything. And Spike's in the cage, so. But anyway, I actually while there were two things I wanted to do while they were fighting, if you
Of
don't mind.
course.
One, I actually forgot. Could I do my analysis talent on that rash that Johns has?
Sure. The way that I was going to handle this is essentially now that this has calmed down, we're going to finish out this shift of labor so that you can replace the air scrubbers. Also, you can weld up that vent because I'm sure that's going to do an awful lot of good. And then, Flynn, if you want, I will give you another use of your analysis tool just to try and, I mean, essentially, you're just giving it a once over as a healthcare provider.
Yeah, I just don't know what the character's experiences have been if he's ever seen like anyone turn or like Cooper, for example, who had one crawl out of his throat.
Mm-hmm.
Is this rash a symptom that I've seen before? If not, then I will roll an analysis on it.
It is not a symptom that you have seen before. In terms of the blood bursters, they seem to like it just looks like a tumor or a growth.
Yeah.
There is a maybe a redness, but nothing like this rash. It looks like maybe it was something about the rude awakening brushed up with something, or the creatures may have some kind of uh, substance on them that caused a skin reaction. As
Okay.
you've been using latex gloves this whole time.
Yeah. Um, because the other thing was, I wanted to see, I wanted to see what the specimen did when it bites 3 feet away. So
How do you want to see that? Do you want to stick John's next to it a little more? You want to?
no, I was gonna use a pole with some form of tissue on the end and see if I could bait it into snatching it.
I want
Where are
to
you gonna
ask.
get the tissue?
Yeah, I was going to ask for a luck roll to see.
Well,
I mean, there's Rye.
his shoe's gone, and I'm guessing the viscera from when it burst out of him is probably gone. And what about the corpse in the other pod? Is that tissue like just dried, or is that guy just skeleton at this point?
The tissue from the thing that was in the pod, it is desiccated, but still holding its structure. Actually, the more that you're looking at it, it definitely seems like the human anatomy was just contorted. Uh, but it is a fresh source of meat if you would want to try and like shove it a little closer to the thing.
Excellent. I'm gonna put it on a pole and hold it 3 feet away. I want to see what it's. I want to see. I want to see if it's actually biting. I'm just curious.
Okay. Working with John's, you can grab uh, underneath the shoulders of this, like the top half of the thing, since it was cut literally down at the waist, lift it up and start dragging it, and then taking, I imagine you take like the chair legs and you're just kind of pushing it more and more. It's heavy. The head is distended. The brain is still exposed and kind of sloshing about a little bit as it took some pretty nasty head trauma. You push this mutated corpse towards the cage. The creature doesn't react. There's a low, rumbling hiss that kind of emits from it as it senses there are things getting closer to it. But it does not attempt to eat this.
I want fresh meat. Jones, you got 9 other fingers.
You fucking
I'm
kidding
kidding.
me?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Gotta have some humor, right? All right. I give him a pat on the chest. And then well, this is a fail. But of course, it would be immoral for me to risk more of our flesh to try and experiment. So I think we should probably head down and help them out. Let me go throw a lock on, or I'm just gonna make sure Rye's thing is covered, and
The
maybe I'll.
med pod is sealed, except for the spot where the initial or where the second bloodburster broke out of it.
Okay, and then maybe I'll pull down like a. I'm guessing there's curtains from around the tables that people get worked on. Maybe I'll cover the pod just to give Rye a little extra bit of hiding.
Sure. Of course.
I know they don't have eyes, but I don't know. Maybe it might damper their thermal vision or whatever, because I know they're into heat. So yeah. What do you think, John? Should we just leave?
I don't want to be in here with this fucking thing. That sounds like that's the best goddamn idea you've had since we woke up.
All right. Can I put a camera on this thing? Do we have that technology?
I don't know if there would be any cameras within the med lab.
That's fine.
There might be that equipment within the within maybe one of the science labs if it's not ruined at this point.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. I guess we'll just leave him and go help out the crew.
Okay.
I can't, this guy could be valuable to the company, Johns,
So as you both head downstairs, Johns immediately seems to relax just a bit. Like as soon as those medpod doors or the medbay doors close behind him, he's like, "Oh, thank God!" And maybe quick steps it a bit to be down the stairs. You all can join together, and through a bit of uneasy silence, you can hustle and bustle, attempting to gather supplies, chams. You can finish replacing all of the filters on the air scrubbers, and incrementally, all of you can taste and feel the air getting cleaner, better, and more breathable. And a sense of peace kind of washes over everyone. Miller, as you go into you're going into like the vehicle parts and storage, a lot of tools, a lot of it is equipment. It seems like they had some pretty heavy duty uh, land-based transport around. There's a variety of tires. One of the there's 2 ATVs. One is tipped over, but you're able to get things like a welder and fasten up that vent, welding it solid, and you feel just that much safer. You can peel off a stress.
Are there any vehicles that are operational?
Okay. As you are checking at this, the 2 ATVs seem to be operational. Yes. You'll need to replace the tires on them. They've taken a beating as it looks like they weren't strapped down and been rolling around down here, but Wayland Corporation made solid stuff before Utani bought them out.
It used to be a real corporation.
But the 2 ATVs are operational. You can spend your time working on those. Everyone can peel off a stress as you are working down here. Wilson, you haven't heard anything from Clayton in this time, though.
If they leave me alone, I don't have her on the radio, do I?
I think for convenience sake, you all could have given essentially walkie-talkies to each other to stay in some kind of contact.
Okay. If I'm left alone at some point, I would radio to her. Say, Clayton, what's your status?
There's no
Hmm.
response.
Wait.
At that point, I would probably go up to the captain. Captain, I think our little crew here is not all accounted for. I'm worried about Clayton.
And
I would love to take Ava with me to try and find her.
knock yourself out. Break a leg
Great.
even.
I'll take that as a good luck, and I appreciate it.
I will nod and continue working on this ATV.
Wait,
Perfect.
do I overhear this conversation?
Sure.
Here. When's the last time you saw Clayton?
Before I came down here,
You just left her?
well, I came down to hand over the schematics to the captain since that's what he asked me to do. And I'm a team player. I've been nothing but a team player
That is not.
this whole time.
I've only known you for a day, Wilson. I haven't really seen you as the type to be subservient to Miller, but maybe you've had a
Let's not
change
go
of
that
heart.
far. A team player is as far as we can go.
Okay. Anyway, so what? Clayton was less on the bridge.
Yes. Do you know her? Do you know
Do
if
I
she
know her? Yeah, we
usually
work
stays
together.
in contact? Is she
I
somebody who would?
think so. I mean, it's kind of weird to not keep contact when you're alone on this ship.
Well,
Full of-
Flynn, you would know that Clayton is known to, like any good company agent, keep secrets close to the chest. And so it's not uncommon for her to, do the higher up responsibilities. But it is concerning that she hasn't radioed back.
Yeah, just pending the circumstance, I guess, is why I'm concerned.
Do you want to come with me?
No.
All right.
No. I want to stay with these guys just in case they get hurt.
I'll come with you, Wilson.
All right. Perfect. So Cham and I'll go and check on Clayton.
I don't think that's a wise decision. I think Clayton should be found by you, and I think Sham here should be working on the engines to get us out of here.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Have the air filters been fixed yet?
They have.
Yes,
Yeah.
the air filters have
okay.
been fixed yet, so all of you can now roll. I haven't made you roll stamina yet, per se, but if you died, that would have been very important. Yes, the air now feels fresh. There is a smell of rot that is kind of by the tires where Reed was attempting to hide initially. But
We put some potpourri in the electrolyte water and the air filters. Get a nice like cinnamon scent. In the
oh,
whole-
Cap, I
yeah.
forgot I had these essential oils. Let me just drop this bottle in here. It's good for my pores.
So Wilson, I don't think Cham here is going to go with you. Cham's going to work on the engine.
I can
Whatever
accompany
you say.
Mr. Wilson.
That's what I wanted to begin with. I just don't want to go alone.
Of course, no one would call you a coward.
Yeah, Cap, I'm more than happy to fix the engines here. I was just offering to lend a hand, round up all the people. I can get back on it here and get these engines fixed up, but I'm going to need a little time to go over all the schematics here, figure out exactly what's wrong, what needs to happen, what supplies we got, all that shit. I figure if Wilson's going up to the bridge, I can access some of that data there, get this figured out, game plan together. I don't
So,
know.
as you are
Oh.
mentioning this, I will say this is not something that's going to take you a lot of time to read through, as you're used to having to maintain repairs on the Montero, RIP, rip in peace, as you can glance through and see just quickly on the report that Wilson so kindly delivered to you. The Cronus has 4 engines. Each of them are completely offline, meaning that it's likely going to require a spacewalk to determine the extent of manual repairs needed, and then they are going to need to be connected back to the fusion reactor,
Yeah.
which is in the room where you have welded, I believe it
Yeah.
was Mr. Collins, inside.
Yep.
And additionally, the ship's navigation system is offline.
Look,
Which
I'm
would
gonna put my
also
hand on your shoulder, Cham. So you're our best chance off of this ship.
well, I
So
got a
we
whole
need to
bunch
keep
of
you
bad
safe.
news for you then, Captain, because this ship is fucked up more than, well, maybe slightly less than the Montero, but still pretty fucked up. Look, I'm going to need to do a spacewalk to all 4 engines. I'm going to need to get navigation back online. That's for openers. I
Right.
mean, and then from there, fuck, man, gum and duct tape, I don't think are going to get us anywhere. But
Whatever you need, I'll try and get for you.
fuck. All right.
I have some skill and I have wits, so I have to be smart enough to help you. And I
Yeah,
could
maybe
give some,
Dr. Flynn can help diagnose the nav system.
I could give some
Sure.
uppers. I could give some uppers to Rye, wake him up.
I don't think
No,
that's
let's
a good
let
idea.
our boy sleep there. Yeah, if you want to come and lend a hand, Doc, that's fine. I mean, working on circuits is a lot like working on a person. Like, think of them wires like they're veins and arteries. You know what I'm saying? You got to get a light touch, and you got to get in exactly where you
I'd love to help.
spot.
I also I'm not really much good around computers, but I know my way around an engine if you need some help in there too.
Right. Okay, so maybe let's
Thanks,
have
Dave.
Doc try and fix the nav console, and we'll have Sham work on the engine. What was it, James?
Johns.
Johns can also help out, and Reed and I will help protect Sham and Johns.
So to check on the engines and the nav, what I will say this is going to require is to start a spacewalk. So they're going to have to suit up and go out the. Actually, you kind of fucked up the main airlock, but as you're looking around at the schematics, you do see that those vehicle bay doors behind you would have to open up to the exterior. But that would cause a hefty amount of decompression down
God.
here.
We don't. Yeah, we fucked up the airlock, huh?
That
Oh,
you
boy.
did. But
why I
it
was
would
worried
require
about.
a spacewalk to the 4 engines to manually check on that, and a very long spacewalk up to the bridge, as you know that the navigations is probably a dish that you don't know if the dish is out of alignment or if it's even fucking there at this point. Ava has mentioned that the ship went through a micro asteroid or meteor, because I can't remember the difference, shower as it was leaving the LV-1113.
Great.
Like we're just gonna have to pray.
Well, I mean, unless anybody else has got any bright ideas, there's nothing to do but to do it, I suppose. So
The only way out is
Space everything in the vehicle bay
no,
Can't
I think
bolt anything.
that's
to get
foolish
outside?
here. Are there looking at the map? Are there additional? If there's only the one main airlock and then the vehicle bay, that's it.
Let
Curse the
me.
engineer that designed this ship.
Idris Elba would know where the airlocks are on this ship.
Let's
He
go ahead
would
and get him
know.
on the horn.
Let's get him on the horn.
All right, let
Call
me
off-
hang
call
on
a
a second.
friend.
I got the map legend. Let me be sure there's not another airlock. There are a few airlocks in the vehicle bay
Oh, okay. Thank God.
that it looks like you could drive an ATV out if, for whatever reason, that was.
So when you
something
say ATV, do you mean like a little like quad vehicle,
Yes.
or do you think like an all
like a 4-wheeler.
APC?
No, like a 4-wheeler,
Okay,
basically.
okay.
That sounds sick as hell. So I'd really like to do that.
I mean, I repaired a 4-wheeler if you want to drive it out into space for the hell of
Just float out. Take me home,
it.
country road.
Use that to go home.
Did you ever see the beginning of the movie Heavy Metal? Like Yes, I would do that. That's not an ATV, but still. Yeah, all right. Shit. Fucking
Actually, there is one other. So, painting a picture for you all. In the center of the vehicle bay, you can essentially drop it down. This is what they would be like some of the heavier machinery would
yeah,
be
yeah.
lowered down from this middle part here. There
Mhm.
are several side airlocks that look like they have been manually shut, but you can open them. There is another on deck C that looks like an airlock that goes to essentially an elevator. If you recall, in this is at the northmost point of the deck C map. This
Yep.
would be the elevator in Alien 1 that like Ripley and everyone went down to the planet groundside level. So that one actually might be your best option unless you wanted to risk potential decompression in the garage bay.
No.
Yeah, let's not
Let's
do that.
let's hit that. That's right underneath the bridge.
Cowards.
We can get to the nav comms from there pretty easily. So
Okay.
let's fucking do it.
And so before we get to Wilson and Ava, I do just want to sort of check on everyone's plans. Everyone's stress is a bit high. You could take a minute to try and maybe relax. I can say that maybe you pull another stress off if you're like finding some peace and maintaining some of the equipment, distracting yourself some. But otherwise, it's going to be Cham and Johns and maybe Flynn that are going to be doing a spacewalk.
Is there a suit for me? If so, I'll go out. If not, I'll stay in.
Oh, there's loads of suits here and here. The Cronus actually had a pretty substantial crew before everything hit the fan.
We should make sure our O2 is all topped off from that fresh air from the scrubbers too. So we're not, we're all good to go.
Yeah.
Yep. More hands out there, the better. Then I'll head out.
Right.
Okay. And Flynn going outside. Reed and Miller. What are you doing?
I think I'm just gonna take a break.
Yeah, you all
Yeah,
go
I
do
get-
that.
In this little respite, I guess I don't know. Try to find my gun that I dropped.
Yeah, of course. The shotgun that jammed, which caused you to need to abandon it, is still just sitting on the catwalk.
So yeah, we'll probably take a little walk over there and then join back up with Miller and I don't know, decompress with him. He looks very stressed.
Head in hands.
Maybe you find a deck of cards in some of the vehicle part storage and can use that to
Play some solitaire. Oh,
Yeah.
how about a game of goldfish? No.
Oh, of course.
How do you play?
Space Go Fish.
That's right.
Xenofish. Okay.
So I'll reduce the stress if applicable then.
Okay. And I'll tell you what. So for Cham, Johns, and Flynn, if you're going to go outside, I'm assuming you're taking at least some tools and things with you, but you know that any repairs are going to take a considerable amount of time. If you want, I will say essentially both of your hands are going to be full that you can bring a spare oxygen tank and then tools, but that is your left and right hands are going to be occupied.
Sure.
Are you muted, Jim?
Cham, you put your helmet on. We can't hear you if you don't turn the speaker back on.
Yeah, my bad. Real quick question. Knowing about these ships, if we were to say get 2 engines working, would that be able to like limp us anywhere, or do we have to get all 4 functioning at once?
You would need all 4 to reach FTL speeds and be able
Gotcha.
to get
Yeah.
anywhere within the next decade.
Yep. Perfect.
Otherwise, you could just be in cryo for the next 100, 200 years or so.
That's what I wasn't sure about. Great. Okay. Thank you.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, Doc, you ready to do this thing?
Oh yeah.
Johns?
And as we get a suiting up montage,
Zip.
we get that that hot fuzz, like all the cameras going. We see Miller shuffling the cards back to the suits, and then there's a ding as the elevator doors open. Wilson, where is your first stop to try and find Clayton? The last time you saw
Where?
her was in the mother mainframe.
Where did we leave those urns again?
You left the urns on, I believe you left them closer to deck B.
Okay. I would just on the way up, just check B real quick, just to see if she's anywhere near the urns.
Okay. You walk out towards the where you had left out the urns, closer to a little bit outside the elevator. The pallet jack is gone. Scanning up and down the hallway, you can see it abandoned, a little further up the hallway, past the living areas. Going closer to it, it is empty. All of the urns have been extracted off of the pallets.
Okay. Outside any sort of room or storage area?
It's around the. Let's see, let me reorient myself to where the elevators are at on this map. So you would essentially have walked out of the elevator and through this living area bit here, where there's the ripped up furniture and the crunching actual soil on the ground, and it would be kind of just around the corner.
Okay. I would poke my head through and see if I can see what she did with them.
Okay. Looking through, you don't see any, like, the urns themselves are gone. What was your reason for transporting these, Mr. Wilson?
That's something to ask Clayton when we find her.
You can give me an observation roll. I'll give one for Ava as well.
3 successes.
Holy shit. So there was a tune, a song that your dad used to sing. What was it? Could be some classical Earth, you know, solos like Daft Punk.
I feel like it's Frank Sinatra, something stupid.
Fly me to
Yeah,
the
okay.
moon.
It's too obvious.
How dare! I'm improvising here. I'm trying my best. But you can hear it echoing down the hallway, sullenly, drunkenly.
Okay, I am going towards it. I'll kind of whisper to Ava, can you hear that?
Yes, this is Frank Sinatra's most well-known single, and not a cliche pick at all, considering the circumstances.
Um,
It seems to be
yes,
coming
it's,
from the corporate suite.
it is what inspired me to go into space. Interesting.
I don't remember asking, but thank you for that information.
Wow. Okay, well, next time you want to talk, I'll ask you a question. Yeah, I'll go towards it very
Okay.
quietly.
Going or walking down the hallway, it's nothing that's going to require a roll. You're just walking, trying to keep the sounds of your space boots thudding to a minimum, and can turn the corner. You see that the door of the corporate suite is open. Inside looks a little different than you remember it, as the body that had the chest blown out or in, it was honestly hard to tell. It was in such a state of just it was basically desiccated bones and jerky after a while, has been wrapped up in the actual down duvet that it was resting on. And you see that it is just a bit of a burrito on the floor. Some of the glass all over the floor has been swept up a bit, and Clayton is there sitting in the one good chair, taking a heavy slug from a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue. What?
Taking a little rest?
Of course, it's good to manage your stress.
Do I take it to mean that your contingency plan isn't coming to fruition?
You can take this however you damn well please. Hmm? How about that? Huh? What? Have you fixed the ship yet?
No, no. You guys messed up the ship immensely. It's going to take a lot longer to fix the ship than
She starts
however
bowing
long.
up a bit. We messed up the ship. We were following company orders. It's
Somebody messed up the
you
ship.
who's supposed to be the rescue party and getting us the fuck out of here.
So who put an axe through the navigation on the bridge?
That was Reed.
So why would Reed do that?
I don't know. Ask her.
So you have no idea.
Do you think there will be anything there when we get back? Do you think that this will actually pay off?
I couldn't say for you.
Yeah, that's the same conclusion I came to.
Maybe you've got stocks that have matured.
Yeah. Maybe I've got stocks. She dad grunts as she stands up from the chair. Okay, so what's happening now?
They're fixing the ship,
Good. What are we gonna do?
not get eaten by an alien.
Well, you know what they say. She grabs a bottle of Grey Goose. Safety in numbers, right?
As long as we stay quiet.
I'd prefer it if you stayed quiet.
That makes two of us.
I'm afraid I don't mean to rain on the party, but I cannot imbibe alcohol.
Nobody offered it to you.
Oh, this is true. Is there anything that you would require of me? Or else I fear my services may be better served elsewhere.
What are your services?
She begins like listing out every manual procedure possible. Like, I can pick this up and move this over here. I am a competent masseur. I am able to relay all of the different star charts of the galaxy. And basically, yes, runs through a laundry list of protocols. You notice she
Can
glitches a couple of times in it, but seems steady.
is one of those fixing navigation on the ship?
Yes,
Probably a good idea to do that then.
no one asked.
Please fix the navigation on the ship.
Of course. And with the same plastered smile, quickly about faces, starts walking down the hallway.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah, they really need to try and make them seem a bit more human. She always is a bit robotic.
Well, that's the older models for you.
Twitchy.
Twitchy.
And while Flynn Cham and Johns are getting into the airlock. You're seeing a bit of a countdown flashing on the timer. Wilson, I am also going to count this as you reducing stress.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say it, but I'd probably look for a bottle as well.
Yeah.
I don't imagine there are a lot of glasses, but
Most of the glasses were shattered as the wet
Yeah.
bar was broken down. But for getting drunk with Clayton here, you can remove 2 stress. I am going to ask for a stamina roll. No panic dice or anything associated with it, but I want to see how potentially drunk you may get. I will also roll for Clayton.
so sorry. So no, if there's no panic, do I also roll my stress dice with that?
No stress dice, just your kind of base stamina. So
Okay.
strength plus stamina.
1 success.
Okay. Are you going to try to get any information out of Clayton or do your social maneuvering while you're here? Are you just going to shoot the shit, sit in silence?
I think it would be sitting in silence at first, and I might, depending on how drunk she gets, if I can tell that she's getting drunker than me, I will bring up the subject of the contingency plan again.
Okay. We're going to do a contested manipulation at this point.
Okay.
You both are equally drunk, I can say.
Okay.
So neither of you is
So-
going to have an advantage in this.
Okay.
3, 4, 5.
With the stress dice and everything.
Yep.
Okay.
How'd you do?
1 success.
Push it.
You want to push the roll?
I mean, I kind of want
Come
to push the roll.
on.
I kinda wanna
What's
push
this
the roll.
contingency thing you keep talking about?
All right, I'll push the roll.
Add a stress dice.
Uh-oh. The panic.
Rude. I mean, it is appropriate. I get a tremble. And the push has 0 successes.
But you
And I
still
get a
have the
stress
1
dice.
success. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Love to see it. So, once again,
Alex's fault.
you were evenly matched with 1 success
hate it.
each. But with the push, how do you think that this happens? Are you going to try to essentially challenge her to drink more and then talk about it? What leads you to come up with this tremble as you're trying to get this information out of her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think just drinking, just keeping, I don't know, obviously you can't pour glasses, but if there's like maybe a beaker from the med lab or something like that, from the science lab or something like that, just basically pouring her more, trying not to have her realize that she's drinking more would be my strategy.
Okay. And I think that this can work. You can basically there's tumblers around as you're hanging
Yeah.
out here for a while. Maybe there's some that are more broken than others, but just don't drink from the shattered parts.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's as you are trying to coax her to drink more, that's whenever you get that Jurassic Park, like you can see the liquid trembling in the bottle. And then that's what causes Clayton to back up. Why do you seem nervous?
I don't usually get drunk
Hmm.
while I'm working.
Then maybe we should get back to work. She's going to get up and start walking out of the room. There was a rush of air that causes you 3 to kind of sway forward a little bit as these double doors of the airlock are opening. At this point, you all are at the bottom of the ship. I will say that your exosuits have magnets that you can activate to essentially make your way up and over. Cham, you are fantasizing a little bit about being able to drive one of the ATVs out into space, just to see.
So fucking sick. Yeah, that definitely lowers all of my stress just thinking about driving an ATV. No, I make sure everybody gets tethered on. I assume we have those like lifelines or whatever. I don't know. These ships did, but the other ones do. So I'm gonna clip on and
Yeah, I'm probably not too sure of foot. I can't imagine I have much experience on spacewalks. I would imagine.
Doc, you're gonna be fine. Just follow my lead, and the magnet boots do all the work. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds good.
Well, what do you think? Head to the nav comms first, and then check the engines after, or do you want to
Yeah.
start with the engines?
Whatever's closer, I'm down.
Probably nav computer. We got to walk on top of the bridge. What do you think, Jones?
Yeah, sure, fine. You're
You
the
all right,
boss.
Jones?
Hmm?
You okay?
That's fine. I'm just ready to get the fuck home.
Straight up with that, my friend. All right, let's get up and see what the nav comms go. Hey, Jones, you're technically in charge of this boat, right? More or less.
Yeah, technically.
All right, well that's good to know because once we get these navs up online, is that something that Mother can like help us? You can access Mother, right? Is Mother able to kind of give us diagnosis, schematics, a game plan, work up some nav stuff, all that magic mumbo jumbo they do?
I mean, that's autopilot, sure. At bottom line, they're saying from the schematics that the navs are offline. Once the navs are on, we'll probably need some kind of pilot to at least get us pointed in the right direction. I was just a second in command, so I didn't actually make any of these calls.
Yeah, no worries, man, no worries. But yeah, that's good if you've got the access and all that kind of stuff that we need to do here. Um, yeah, let's get her done. As one of our Earth scholars used to say from history, let's get her done. God, who was that did that quote? Famous.
Dude, we're older than you.
I guess
And why are you
so.
acting
I
like?
mean, that's fair. That's fair. You know, well, age before beauty, Doc. Head on out.
Okay.
And I think at this, Johns will probably just start trudging away around the get her done remark. You just hear kind of a big sigh. It comes across as this grainy static on the mic and the suits, but he will trudge. It's a bit disorienting how everything is just blackness around you except for stars. You feel like you are, of course, well, you feel upside down, but the gravity is still pulling you. So you just have to mentally keep this image in mind as you are walking on the underbelly of this ship like ants on a whale. You see how part of the Cronus was pockmarked by these different micro meteors or asteroids. I should probably look up the difference between them. And see that there is some physical damage. It looks like the ship's exterior took most of the heat from it. All of you can roll 6d6 for your suit's air supply as you are making your way up. Thank you, Flint. You are massively helpful in this. So this is a micro asteroid shower.
I got 0 successes on 66.
Okay. Flynn, how did you do?
Haven't rolled oxygen in a long time. Hold on. We roll 6, right?
Yep.
1, 6.
You lost in oxygen by telling everyone the difference between an asteroid and a meteor.
Yeah.
Oh
Actually.
So you can make your way um, around underneath the bridge of the ship, and you know that at least the comm relay dish is going to be up towards the top, kind of walking across the neck of the ship. You see that the dish is mostly intact. It
Hmm.
took a hell of a beating, and part of it is missing, but it looks like something that might be able to be repaired.
Okay. Well, I think we can get Navs back online. Should we get to starting that, or I mean, I guess there's no point really to start working on the Navs until we know if the uh, thrusters are going to work. Because if the engines are offline, we'll know where the hell we are, but won't be able to do anything about it. I don't know if that gets anywhere.
Yeah, and that's on the ass other end of the ship. Unless you want to burn up all of our air, just taking a little walk.
What do you think, John? Should we start working on this nav column then?
Let's just fucking start working on this thing.
All right.
Yeah,
Great.
I think we need both fixed, right? It's like, I mean,
You'll inevitably need both fixed.
you'll need
yes.
both unless we feel like flying without a compass through the deep depths of space.
All right.
Sounds
Let's
like
get
as
to
good
work
an
there,
idea as any.
fellas.
Okay.
Um,
So, Cham, you have the best. You have the best heavy machinery among everyone. So, Flynn, if you want, I'll say that you and Johns are both helping. Uh, Perhaps you can find essentially debris from the ship that you can bring up to makeshift weld the dish partly back together and try and fix it back up. I can give Cham essentially 2 extra base dice for the assist.
That's sweet. I love that the radar dish is going to be partially made of like wood and other debris and shit like that they find. All right, so that's 2 additional base dice.
Yes,
That takes me to 13 dice total. For
you
this.
can't fail.
Famous last
Unless
word. I got to put it in a box.
How could you say
Oh,
that?
what?
How could you say that? He just jinxed you.
Yeah, I know. He kind of did. I got 2 successes, so I'd like to use one of them to show off a bit, maybe. No.
You take the welder and do the spin on your finger. It floats away back behind you.
Oh.
It's with that spin in space, it'll never stop accelerating. It'll just keep going forever.
But I will say, if you want to use that other success, you can use it to show off, or
No, I'd
you
speed
can
it
use
up.
it to finish a little faster.
I'd,
Okay.
I'd do that one. Yeah.
For this, I am going to request we roll. Since you're going to speed it up, let's roll those oxygen die 2 more times to see how much air you're going to burn through in doing this.
us too.
All of you, yes.
Dang. Only lost 1. Okay.
John's
lost.
is quiet.
I lost one.
Okay. You don't hear a word out of him.
Hey, John. So, tell me. I mean, while we're working up here, a little bit about like what the hell happened, because normally we go out on these runs for cargo and whatnot, and usually a bunch of aliens don't fucking grow out of people's limbs and shit. So that's new. How'd that all come about?
Let me tell you a story. As
He
we
shines a flashlight under his.
he turns the light on his spacesuit.
Yeah.
And then as we're going to do a quick cut to Miller and Reed playing cards in the garage.
Man, I really hope nothing sneaks up on us.
Getting like hot in here. You feeling that, or like a bit like uncomfortable?
Hot? Nah.
What kind of like itchy?
Are you okay? Maybe we should have Dr. Flynn look at you.
I mean, I'll be fine. I just took a bad fall on my shoulder. It's just I don't know. I feel like I got like You know, you ever like get a haircut and you like feel the hair on your neck? It's like itchy. It's kind of like irritating.
All right. Just to be sure, let me take a look at that.
If you want, sure.
Oh God.
And as Reed sort of like pulls the shirt collar down, you can see a red rash is spreading across her collarbone.
Yeah, I don't think that looks good.
You don't think it's from the vaccine, do you?
I don't know. I took the vaccine. Am I feeling itchy?
I mean, I took it what 75 years ago, so maybe it takes a while.
And on that note, we're going to end it here for tonight.
Great.
Hot damn.
Everyone, I hope you had fun playing tonight. You're making some headway, about to get this love boat on the move once again. Maybe we could use a little bit of an anti-itch cream or something. But for those at home, hope you had fun listening, and we'll see you around on another episode of It's Alive.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out the RPG Reanimators podcast for horror scenario reviews, interviews, gaming discussions, and more.